It's fine. It's fine. You don't need to hear us. It's good. Like, it's good. Oh god, they can hear us now. They can hear us now. Don't at me. Yes, they can. But they can't hear you. You know, it's fine. Hold on. Hold on. Hold, please. I will connect you. Try now.
Hold, please. Hold, please.
Now they can hear you.
Can they? Okay, yep, there I am. Yay!
It's not.
We did a thing. We're live.
We were
We
not gonna go.
pushed the
I'm
button.
gonna be real honest with everybody. I am not okay. Not okay. I am not okay. I'm far from okay. I am not okay. Not. I am not. I am not okay. And it's not one of those I'm not okay, like I'm feeling off, like I am severely not okay. Like on a scale of 1 is tragic, 10 is you're the best of your life. I'm at pretty much a 0.05.
You barely register.
I'm barely
That's how
there.
bad it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not completely tragic because it could still get worse. But you know what? I'm not good.
Yeah.
We weren't gonna go live. I really wasn't. And if I'm being truly honest,
Mhm.
hello, welcome to waking up.
Do we need a disclaimer? Do we need to throw the disclaimer up there?
Maybe,
We're
maybe.
not we're not licensed therapists. We're just two trauma Triscuits on the internet.
Right. We won't even go over the religious shit. Like,
Yeah.
with imagery numbers, imaginary, having fun. Yeah, pretty much, Nev. Pretty much.
Mhm.
We're not going to go into the like we may, but today's probably not going to be a very religious heavy episode. So, but we're
You
not
say that.
therapists. I mean,
No.
fair, also fair.
Mhm.
We're not therapists. I honestly, right now, I'm barely registering as a functioning adult. I'm pretty sure I'm not on like I'm not a functioning human right now. Like you know what? I'm breathing in and out and I'm upright.
You
I'm
are.
not in my
Yeah.
bed. You know what?
I
Winning.
exactly. There you go. That's
That's where I'm at.
progress.
That's so we're not
Yeah.
licensed. Anything in here is just our personal experiences and our opinions and just
Mhm.
basically the tools that we have and the tools that we're using and it is just our own adulting. I know.
Yeah, right.
Uh, yeah. So anything we say on here, don't, I'm just surviving right now. Today's an episode where Arugs is just surviving.
This is a
Not
moment to
even
moment, day to
Arugs,
day kind of thing.
not even Arugs. Anna is barely surviving. Okay.
Yeah.
We're not even,
Roots hasn't even come into the building yet.
no. Arugs is on vacation. Arugs is on vacation.
Let me know when.
Anna's struggling.
Let me,
Bitch, we be struggling. And this is, this is Pepe. I forget I'm married. I was like, this is Pepe. Okay.
it's
I
me.
can't get there. Look,
Just
look.
point. Wait, is that? Are you actually pointing to me? Yo, you
Yeah.
are pointing to me.
But I was pointing to
Am I
me and
pointing?
then I was like, hold on. Okay, got it. Here.
No, am I pointing the right direction? I
Yes,
can't
you are.
tell.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I'm pointing. Okay, sweet.
I know it's opposite. Okay. That way. Yeah.
So we're here.
I wasn't going to go live. I had told Sean, I was like, I don't feel like streaming. And I may cry because that seems to be my MO. Just,
And that's okay.
yeah, that is okay.
Hmm.
But I think I mean, like I didn't even tell Sean why I went, and I didn't even know why I felt the urge to go live. And I think that the whole reason I wanted to go live is because that is the one thing that I have built my streaming platform on, and since I did like the whole readjusting and stuff with my content is I yes. Yes, there are some things that don't need to be out on the internet, and I won't be telling you all the things, and that's fine, But, I always said that I wanted people to see real and to feel like and I think that there's a good morning, Calvino.
Hey, Calvino.
And hi, Nev. I'm sorry I didn't tell you good morning.
Hmm.
I think that that was the big thing. Is I'm struggling hard. Like it's hard. And there is I feel like I'm climbing the mountain. Actually, that's why now I feel like I'm going around 12 rounds in a prize fight and I am fucking Rocky Balboa and just fucking face
You,
all fucking swollen and but I
yeah.
promised, I think I made a promise to myself and I made a promise to my community that I would try to keep it as real as necessary. I think that there is still some things that are private. I think that there's a lot that I won't disclose and there's a lot of things, but I think what I can disclose and not in a whole, and I also am doing this to fight that feeling of I'm doing this for pity. Like I'm doing this for clout.
Mhm.
I'm doing it because I'm not. I wasn't gonna go live. You can ask Sean. Sean was like, I gotta
Yep.
put on a shirt. I was like, just zip up your hoodie. I don't give a shit. Like
Dead.
and for those of you who know in my impromptu streams, like sometimes it's just me needing to talk and me just um and on top of that, just I think some I love you too, Neb. We love you so
Oh, we
much.
love you too, Nev. You're amazing. Thank you.
Um I think it's one of those I think a lot of times, and I think where I never wanted to be that person. I never wanted to be an influencer. I never wanted, and I'm okay with not having hundreds of thousands of followers or any of that. I think it's one of those, why do I do this? Why do I stream? Why do my, like, I mean, I haven't done it. Why was in the middle so important to me? Why is waking up so important to me? Why are those things? Why do I continue to do those things? And it's because I wanted to be vulnerable. That was the whole point. I started doing those types of streams is going, I need people to see the vulnerability and I need them to also feel like they're not the only ones that struggle. And I think that there's a lot that, and there's a lot of people who stream and who do content just in general, whatever content, whatever platform you're on, that do the whole, oh, my life is so bad for clout. I don't give a shit. No one can watch this and I don't give a shit. I really don't care. And I think that I think that there's a part of me that's like it's important that my community knows that I'm human too. I think that they get this idea that I am like when I come on waking up and I get, these strong opinions and I have all these tools and look at my journey and look at what I'm, and they like, oh, they get the wrong. I think they get the impression that I got it all figured out and that my life is put together and it's not a mess. The reality is, I think it's important for me and my trauma to show people I'm I'm a mess. Am I a complete mess? No. And I'm working really hard not to like take that on. That is something I struggle with too. That I am just a failure and I'm a bad person and my life is just a wreck because here's the reality is my life is neither a complete wreck nor is it, easy street. And emotions aren't good or bad. They're just what I'm going through right now. So I think that's what I wanted to go. I think I want to be honest. I could sit there and not stream and come on and just be like, oh, man, really, just I'm struggling, but I'm making it. I'm holding on by medication and caffeine right now. And I think I also I don't know. I don't know.
It's okay.
It's just a struggle this week. Been rough.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about something? I forgot my vape.
Oh, okay.
I forget it. Talk about something for a second.
Oh, just talk about some. Oh, okay. I don't know what to talk about this week. I mean, I could go completely random and tell you, I got a new tattoo. It's like right over here, but I can't show it without getting like half undressed. So you have to wait. Um, yeah, that was mine. By those HP sets. No, I have not. I have not bought those sets yet. I budget. I'm trying to be budget conscious. I might. Oh God, I might have to hold off on buying any more sets for a little bit because as much as I want them, they are expensive, and I think I might need to just be a little bit more budget conscious right now, especially during the holidays.
I still have
So,
my head wig that I haven't put together that you bought
do
me
you
for
do you want
my
to do
third.
you want to do it?
that
You want to do a Lego stream? Let's do a Lego stream.
you can, Pep, aren't you coming for Thanksgiving? Like
Yeah,
you can
there we
just take
go.
that home with
We'll
you.
do a Lego stream
It's not.
while
Oh, we could, cause like hopefully like we'll have the gang here for Thanksgiving. So
we can all build it together.
damn, it's
It
all
is absolutely sucky, but it is a necessary part of adulting.
yep.
So, yeah, yeah. I don't know how much.
It's fine. It's
Oh
fine.
God,
We're fine. We're fine.
we're fine. We're fine. Yeah,
My
yeah.
friend, I have a friend, and it was always our joke, and we just because like how everybody says I'm fine when you're not fine. Like I'm fine is the thing. Is like I'm fine. You're not fine,
hmm
and it's like I'm fine. And you know how like the eyes get longer and longer, like that one. So like it
Yep.
became the joke that like the more eyes you put in fine, the more you're not fine. So like there was one time we were just like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So it's like the longer you draw out the
Yep.
eyes, the worse you're not. Like the worse you are.
It, the more eyes in fine, and the more times you say the word fine, the less fine you are. I'm fine. We're fine. It's all fine.
Oh,
I'm
Calvino.
fine.
Oh.
Oh. Aw. A throne or something is a burden with a need to spend. I can send you something. You know what? You're right. That a throne. I know other people that have a throne. I have never set up a throne. You should do that too. Aruk, set up a throne.
Throne.
Yeah. It's a website that where people you can list stuff that you want and people can get it for you. It's kind of like Amazon, I
Can
think,
I
but
put my bills on
I
there?
don't know if you can do that. There should be a website called like Sugar Daddy where people just pay your bills.
There is sugardaddy.com.
Wait,
Look that up. There is
wait, there is?
oh my god. Oh my god. This is how cute you are. Oh, I love you. No. No, first off, I haven't gotten that far. I'll do feet pics before I do
I
sugardaddy.com
mean,
because at
feed
least
pics are pretty lucrative.
my
And
feet aren't cute enough. They're not cute
you know,
enough.
you have cute feet. You can totally do that. And then you can write off pedicures on your taxes.
There are guys who
Uh
want a thumb.
that
I
yeah.
mean, find me
Yeah.
one. Find me one.
Uh-huh. I mean, who wouldn't pay for some Aruga feet pics and Findom?
I just want to be able to pay my bills. I don't even like. It's not even about that.
Mhm. Oh.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, what I really need, like,
Um,
what I really wish is, like, I wish the streaming stuff was more lucrative for me. Like, I would
yeah.
honestly spend more time streaming and doing stuff like that if I like I would knew I would get actually subscribers and like people on a Patreon or stuff like that. But that takes
Yeah.
a lot of work. And I'm
It
already working 2 jobs. Like it hasn't gone to the point to where I'm like, oh yeah, like let me consistently stream. Like I can't because I can't do that.
yeah.
It's not lucrative.
Yes, making money as money as a streamer is pretty much a job. So my bank account, Kevin, that always comes up in my head when I think about it. See the way my bank account is set up. It's my checking and my savings and my savings and my checking.
What?
It's a Kevin Hart thing.
Oh,
You ever say it's a Kevin Hart thing? Kevin Hart's got a bit where he talks about
oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Sure.
Kevin gets it.
You can sell plasma, right?
Yeah, you can sell about anything. hmm I mean, I think you're gonna make more money with
With feet pics.
with feed pics than
I don't know.
I mean, you probably could do both.
I have great kids. I can,
Yep.
I can probably sell some eggs.
I mean, you do. Yeah. I mean, wow. uh,
Oh, no, this is not a pity stream. Have you tried selling feet pics? No, no.
oh man.
Honestly, is
Um,
that really as lucrative as people think? Like, so many people are like, I'm getting all
what?
this money on feet pics. I'm like, really? Are you really? Like,
I did some research on it.
I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like some of that stuff is like just
I
inflated.
think I
I
think
feel like it's almost
I
like
think
an
it's marketing.
MLM. I feel like it's almost like an MLM. Like, you're going to make so much money with
Uh
these feet pics. And I'm like,
well, yeah, the difference
you
is you
gonna
don't have to recruit other people to sell feet pics in order for you to make money. That's the difference.
you're girl bossing it with your toes. Like,
Uh,
I'm sorry.
I
When I am severely in a mental and emotional state where I am not okay, I make very distasteful jokes. So I would like to apologize in advance. I'm sorry.
uh no, I think it's about marketing yourself. I think that's what similar to all the other stuff. It's about marketing yourself.
I would rather try to make my streaming more lucrative, but
Lucrative. You could do both. Foot cam.
I think it might just be an internet meme gone too
Internet.
far, right? I don't think the feed pics are a thing.
There, eh,
Who knows?
everything.
Everything's a thing.
There's a thing. There's yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Yep, absolutely. So
But I mean, in all seriousness, I guess. I love you, Nev. Thank you for that. Thank you. I need to
that's
giggle.
it. That's exactly it. a feet, a purveyor of good feet.
See, just like yeah, it's like, I'm sure people making million, but right, right. I mean, it's just like anything else, like OF or any of that, or even content creators, even streamers and all this stuff. There, so
Mhm.
I am happy when I get 8 consistent viewers. Like that's not enough for me to do that. Like
Mhm.
if I had like 500, like or even 100 subscribers, even 100 subscribers a month, like that would be like
Mhm.
okay. I love you, Kelby. Like but I don't have that, and you know what? That's okay. Algorithms and shit. And I know, like,
Yeah.
I know it's like it's consistency of streaming, but um, I'm not okay, and and I think that I saying that is just it's hard, uh, and I think I need, and I think the part of me, and Sean, you and I talked about this. The part of me is like trying not to get into that victim mentality. And I'm honestly trying very, very hard to find the place of grace and forgiveness for myself and compassion for others. And I think also thanks to my friend Brandon, I love him. Thanks to Brandon. His advice is like zoom out. Because like and he was right after I got through an emotional, very turbulent emotional spell. Because I did have to zoom out. I had to zoom out and not just see through my lens. I had to see through all parties involved lenses. And I think that zooming out and seeing the big picture has been really helpful because because we all, when we're severely upset, it's like somebody has to be to blame. Somebody has to be right
Yeah.
and somebody has to be wrong. Somebody has to be the good
Yep.
guy and the bad guy. Somebody has to be the hero and the villain. Somebody has to be
Yep.
right. Somebody has to be the winner and the other person has to be the loser. And that is against everything that I've worked on in therapy because in that it's not radical acceptance. It's not dialectical. It's not and dialectics is two things can be true. Two opposing things can be true at the same time, which means two people can be right at the same time and two people can be wrong at the same time.
Hmm.
and working on that. And which by the
It's
way is
very difficult.
yes, is fucking it's fucking monumental when you are in an emotional state where you are I honestly don't know where this liquid is coming from. I've cried so much. I don't know where it's like I'm like, I think
Are you not staying hydrated?
I'm really thinking like, where they say it's water weight. I really think that that's where it's coming. It's like getting sucked out of the reserves of my fat. Where does it come from? I don't understand. Like, yeah, I'm not staying hydrated. I barely can sit up. I don't. How? Where does it come from?
Your body just absorbs it just absorbs it. Just it's condensation. That's what it is. Osmosis. Yes, there it goes. It's double reverse osmosis.
Not the ass reserves. I wish. I mean, like, can I like, I don't know, program it? Okay, you're gonna take from these areas first. Just get down to the
Right.
emergency line.
That would be fantastic. When you're hurting and I'm saying you as in the general, when you're hurting and you're scared and you're not sure what's next and what to do, it the it's so easy. The tendency is, and it's so easy to find a villain, to lash out at whatever you feel is causing that, is to blame for it. It's easier to deal with when you have that that villain.
And sometimes the villain is you. I think that's also what I've struggled with this week is
Yeah.
I'm over here going, "Oh, I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. I'm the problem."
Mhm.
And am I really the problem? Cuz I'm not.
Yeah. Right. That's a good point. Sometimes we make ourselves the villain when we're not the villain.
Right.
Just like the other people in our lives, the other person is doing the best that they can with what they know to do. We are doing the same.
Right.
So, because I made my ex the villain for so long. I mean, I practically made my identity. My identity became that villain victim mentality, and I was what I didn't realize is I was trapped. I was trapped in that, and I was never gonna get better. I was never gonna heal as long as I allowed myself to remain trapped in that villain victim mentality.
Yeah.
Because as long as you're the victim, everything is done to you, and you have no power. And if you have no power, then you can never make a change.
Oh, but do any of you have a villain list for when you feel like a bad one? Like what do you mean? I mean, like a list of people we'd be a villain that we're a villain towards, or a list of villains that we like draw energy
or the
from. I
are you talking about playlists as in like the songs you listen to?
oh, I have that. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I absolutely
Yeah.
have. I I absolutely do one. I have one, and I don't know if I've named it the villain list. Actually, I think it's Citizen Soldier. I think because I saved it off. It's called "Thank You for Hating Me,"
That is a
and
good
it is
one.
a good one. I also have
Oh,
another playlist
yeah.
that's a little shorter. It's called "Victim or Survivor," and it's Citizen Shoulder and Icon for Hire, and
Music, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
no.
music. Mhm.
I absolutely do. And I'm honestly the thing that the song that has been on repeat in my neurodivergent brain because that's how I work. Has been Victim or Survivor by Icon for Hire and Citizen Soldier. And it's very much like and I saw them in concert. Oh my god. Saw them in concert. It was the best. It was everything I needed. And he was like, "I'm gonna make everybody cry." I was like, "No, you're not." And as I was getting to leave, like I didn't cry. I was like, I was fine. I mean, I was like, yeah, I love his songs. But as I was getting to leave, he's like, did one encore, and he did the one song that was like fucking shit. I was like, I was gonna leave without being the one to
He
cry.
gotcha.
He did get me.
Nope.
Um, but I mean, the chorus is like when it rains, you can drown or you can be baptized. When you hit rock bottom, you can cry or climb. Crutch or crown, only you decide. Victim or survivor. You can be born by the battle or you can wave the white flag. And sometimes choosing not to die may be all you have. And I think
Wow.
no one escapes crying. No one does.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think that's the chorus of that song rolling through my head on repeat. And I think that's one of those because it's so easy for me to fall into the catastrophic thinking. I don't know how many times I've called you or Jay or somebody this week and just been like, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. I am not going to make it. I am not okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, yeah, you will.
Yeah, you will. Absolutely, you will.
And it's hard because you do want people. I can't speak further. I think for me, it's like there's that when you experience trauma, and I think it's like for me, it's you get to that victim villain mentality because a lot of the stuff and injuries that you've done or that you're experiencing aren't your fault, especially when you're a kid. There are things that aren't your fault.
Yep.
And like in my case, I was made that to feel like they were my fault. And no, they weren't my fault. But the saying in therapy is, in trauma therapy, it is not my fault, but it is my responsibility to heal from it. And it is my responsibility and how I take that injury and I come out of that. And that's where I have to pull myself out of the victim mentality. But it's not saying that I am not culpable of like some of the shit that just because and again, it's about it. It's like just because I didn't intend or like I was lashing out because of this or I was doing it because I felt this way doesn't make excuse. You stab someone, you still stab someone, even if you were trying to protect yourself. Like that's just the reality of it. Whether you intended to do harm just to do harm, or you intended or you did harm because you were just protecting yourself, the point of the matter is you still did harm. But there's a difference between like, okay, that's when you have to go, okay, I did harm and I have to take accountability for that. But you don't have to take blame for it.
Ooh, that's good.
And I am the queen of taking the blame. I am the queen of being the problem. I am the queen of being the sacrificial lamb. I am the queen of, you know what, you're right, I'm wrong. I'm the bad guy. It doesn't matter why I did it. It doesn't matter. You're right. I am awful. I'm a bad human.
Oh yeah, you fall on the you are quick to fall on the sword. You are the queen of falling on the sword. Yeah. Yay trauma.
Fine. Fine.
I think that because I do the same thing. I know how this conversation's gonna go. Eventually, I'm gonna fall on the sword. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fall on the sword now and save myself hours of this argument. Because the end result's gonna be the same. And then after a while, it becomes you just assume that, well, I must have done something wrong. I must have I must have screwed up. It must have been if I had just done this differently. Yeah, it's ultimately my fault. I screwed up, and because the other person is not going to accept it,
There's not
and
saying
so it
that
just
they're not going
becomes
to, I think, depending on who it is.
in your in no in your head.
Oh,
In
oh,
your
yeah, yeah, yeah,
head,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like they're never going to accept it. So like you get to the point where it's pretty much I got to the point where it was pretty much second nature. It was just like, okay, there's a problem. It's my fault. And then it's my fault and I'm a bad person. It um
Also facts.
I mean, Nev. Um
Sean now just
so
got the image of sword, somebody swallowing a sword. That's where his brain. I could tell where his head was at. I could tell where his brain was at.
what? What?
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. I think the thing is, and then I feel like a terrible person and I'm bad, especially when the other person is. But I realized last night that I have to find that compassion for myself. And when I mean that compassion for myself, I have to be compassionate towards myself and understanding that taking accountability isn't taking the blame.
Mhm.
And that there is nothing that I can do to and I think that's where I sit in the discomfort that nothing I can do can change how somebody else feels about me or sees me. And I've
Mhm.
spent my entire life being made, well, if you hadn't done this, we wouldn't be here, or you hadn't done this, I
Yeah.
wouldn't do that. If you hadn't, and so many, and I realize how so many people in my life are like, it's the person, not the problem. And then how easily I fell into that mentality.
Mhm.
If they hadn't done this, I wouldn't have done that.
Well, I'm sorry I did that, but I wouldn't have done that if you hadn't. Especially when it preempts when they attach it to an apology. Well, I'm sorry I did that, but I wouldn't have done it if not. Like that what was that? That certainly wasn't an apology. Yeah,
Oh,
because
it's fine. It's fine.
yeah. But yeah, there's like you can always the trap is that you can always follow. There's always someone else to blame. Like if you get stuck in that, but I only did that because you did that. Well, I only did that because you did this, and like it just never ends. When in reality, a lot of times, both people had something involved in that. They did something, and they made a choice to behave in a certain way to say something. So yeah, it's tough. 12 rounds.
I am very grateful, though. I'm very grateful for the support system that I do have. I think the support system that'll tell me the truth when I need to hear it, because trust me, some of my support system is like, okay, well, here's the truth. You're not going to like it. And I
Mhm.
sit there and I'm like,
Make faces.
I do make faces.
You do.
And they're not wrong. I think it's a part, like, it's not even that I am over here feeling like angry that, what are you talking about? Because I mean, if I'm being honest with myself and I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I mean, you're not wrong.
Mhm.
It's just the discomfort of them being right.
But we're also not going to let you take all of the blame either.
Yes, yes. And I think right now I'm working very hard to get away from the language of like blame and right
Mhm.
and wrong and justified. Um, just like, don't use always or never. I think I'm
Mhm.
trying uh I've had therapy every single day this week. That's been fine. I have cried every single day this week. Also fine. I have let myself. It's like, oh, okay. Like I said, I don't know where the liquid's coming from. It's cool. I'm pretty sure it's just draining itself from my coffee. It's like cool. It's like it's wringing out my liver. It's like, okay, wait, what we got? Like
Oh, we now know coffee is hydration. It's fine.
we do, thanks to Bear. Bear's
Yeah.
Bear coming up with the brat with the brat knowledge.
Mm, that's right.
But in all of it, it's like I am working very hard. It's like, how do I want to handle this? How do I want to show up? And I think that's the big thing that one of my therapists said. It's like, how do you want to show up every day for yourself, for the people you love, for the people you care about, for the people that you're in discourse with? How do you want to show up? And I said, I in a very emotional state. It's like, I'm gonna show up strong. I'm standing my ground. Blah, blah, blah. I settled with it. I have got like a mini fly. What does that mean? Like a net.
Get him. Get him. Hey, Eric.
Oh, we are sitting here and it's I'm not doing okay. And so we're just pretty much just processing through that. Sort of how I'm handling it, what's going on. Like
Yeah,
I'm not divulging any details because there's no need. I'm not trying to be a victim. I am not trying to get pity. I'm just sort of talking it through. I'm also trying to be honest and open with my community.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing for me. Jay and I were talking about this, and I don't know if it's true, but I mean, and I'm pretty sure it's true with you too, Pep. Yeah. Oh, welcome. Welcome is a safe space. If you need to cry, cry too. If you need to get angry, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to do one of those two things at this point. But so many people get the idea that I'm just a rooks from the internet, and they get the idea that he is Tainted Jay, and there's so much more to us in life, and that we're human, and we make mistakes, and we fuck up. And we're not right. And I think Pep, they get the idea that like you're just goofy Pep, but like you're super smart. And like Pep has that bright, bubbly personality, but he can be very dark and vindictive when he wants to be. It's actually quite frightening. I've been on the receiving end of that. It's not fun. It's just
yeah. Yeah. Oh,
but,
hey, Sadness.
Hello. And so I wasn't gonna go live. I wasn't gonna stream. I was gonna keep this to myself. But I'm not over here like playing the victim. I'm just talking through like, hey, I'm going through a rough time, and this is what like I think that's the difference. Is I don't want pity. I don't, but I want people to know I'm going through a rough time, and that's okay, and to know that I'm okay with going through a rough time. And it sucks and hurts like a son of a bitch, y'all. Yeah. Every day. It's a struggle just sometimes to breathe.
It's easy for people in the community to get the wrong impression because they see such a limited.
Yeah.
They see you in a very limited scope. They see us, everyone, in a very limited fashion. And so it's easy to go, well, she's got it all together. He's got it all together, and not really have a full understanding of the. So someone in our community may be having a hard time, and they're like, well, they've got it all together. I just need to suck it up, or I just need to. And like, this is the stuff. What you see, this is what we go through. This is what we deal with. What we think about.
We are discussing. Well, when life punches you in the face, pretty much when it feels like life punches you. If we're gonna boil it down to brass tacks, like that's pretty much what we're going through. Like what I'm going through. Me personally, there's a couple other people in our streaming friend group that are going through some struggling times too. And how that's okay. I think the part is I'm crying every day. I'm crying every day. and I panic every day. And right now, it just feels like I'm just surviving. I'm surviving the prize fight. I'm surviving the storm, and I'm just surviving. I'm not thriving. I'm not over here. I'm just
Mhm.
trying not to drown.
Yeah.
And sometimes that takes every ounce of energy and brain power and tools I have in my toolkit and literally just everything
Mhm.
that I've got. And on top of that, I'm doing everything that I can not to drown. And I'm trying also to retrain my trauma brain and retrain how I handle things, my thought patterns, my reaction. And that's hard.
It is, absolutely.
And it's hard because not only am I going through a very life is a prize fight. It is. And I'm Rocky Balboa right now. Big old swollen
Yeah.
eye.
You fit it all in the bag? How big is that bag? For
It's
me,
big
it's
enough if you cut it up in enough pieces.
it's I mean,
Practice too much. Um, and I also laugh and try to have very dark humor. And I think it's just
you're in good company.
that's all the trouble. But I think
Mhm.
paying what
He's
he owes.
paying.
Fair.
Fair, that's right.
Santa gave me more than Jesus did.
Oh. It's the last chimney he'll come down.
You know what? I need a shirt that says that Santa gave me more than Jesus did. I wore that for Christmas.
Can I go with this? Santa came down my chimney?
That's something totally different, Pep Pep.
Oh,
Um,
this is one of our coping mechanisms.
it is. If that's the case, I guess my face is full. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadness. It's been rough. I am.
Mhm.
I know, like I'm not like being overly emotional right now, and I think that's also, yay trauma. I was
Mhm.
seriously I was seriously trained not to have like I've cried on here before, but it's like when I'm in deep triage mode, which is
Mhm.
what I call it. Um, I don't emote a lot. Um,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean I'm not struggling. Uh,
Yes.
okay, fair. Okay, no Santa before
Mhm.
after Halloween. It's fine. Well, and I'm sorry for you too. I think
Yeah.
that that's also important. And like I had said at the beginning of this, which is why I sort of wanted to go live. I think it's one of those. You guys provide just as much of a safe space for me as this community provides for
Mhm.
others, and it's okay.
Yep.
And I think I need to remind myself that it's okay.
Mhm.
And I'm telling you right now, I have some of the best friends. Now I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry when I'm complimenting somebody else.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to cry when I'm
Yeah.
talking about my problems, but like I
Yeah.
have some of the best support system on the planet. I really
Mhm.
do. And I don't there have been moments this week where I'm like, I don't know what I did in a past life. I don't know what I did to deserve these people, because I am at my absolute worst in every way, shape, or form. Every way. Every way. Like, I'm pretty sure if you look at dumpster fire floating on a barge of trash, that would be you would see my picture. You would see my life. Like, right now, that's where I'm at. And that's okay. We're going to figure it out. And if we have to,
Mhm.
we'll fucking sell tickets and call it a bonfire. I don't know. Like, I was like,
We'll
hey,
get marshmallows and
we'll put some
make some
fucking
ores.
strobe lights and say like, hey, welcome
Mhm.
to my rave of dumpster fire. You know, instead of Fire Island, it's the dumpster fire island. It's fine.
Uh, yeah.
Fuck you, Jay.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate that. You're
Oh,
always
you know
yeah.
what? No, I'm not even. You know what? Jay's been
Uh-huh.
processing shit too. Like
Yeah.
no, I think we've all been processing some shit. But
Yeah. It's yeah.
back to what I was saying. Like my therapist was
Mhm.
asking me, how do I want to show up?
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to show up strong. And it was very combative feeling. And she pointed that out. She goes,
Mhm.
"Ooh, you're giving off this like, competition, winner or loser. Like you're giving up this very aggressive like anger." And anger's a valid emotion. And I
Mhm.
let's just say I've been processing that emotion, and the fact that I've never processed that emotion has also okay, let me explain this to you. I, in my 40 something years of life on this planet, I have not been allowed to process anger in a healthy way. I was never told. Now, I raised my kids like it's okay to be mad, which is okay to feel that anger. It's not okay to be mean. So I've really done the effort of validating their anger, and
Mhm.
and also, while validating that anger, also trying to help them see that it's okay to be angry, just as long as you're processing it in an appropriate manner, because I did not have that. I, on the other hand, I am not allowed to process. I'm not allowed to be angry. Because I was, for most of my life, I was the problem. So if I was angry about something, I wasn't allowed to be angry. I shouldn't be angry. I can't be angry, because if I'm angry, then the only person I have to be angry at is myself. I'm not allowed to be angry at anybody else but myself, which then perpetuates self-hatred, which is fucking
Mhm.
fantastic. Um, and I've been so something happened, and I just shame and guilt and anger at myself, and all this. The dam broke, and I have done it, and I did nothing but cry. And I was like, why am I crying? Why am I crying? Why am I not like breaking shit or yelling at somebody or whatever? Like that's what I should, like, isn't that how I should process anger?
Mhm.
Nope. My therapist was like, on my one of my many emergency calls, she's like, that's how you're processing, because that's what you know how to
Mhm.
do, and that's okay. You're just gonna cry.
Mhm.
You're just gonna angry cry. It's just gonna be a different type of crying. And I was like,
Mhm.
where is this? Where is the liquid coming from? I'm like, um, hey, you're healthy enough to say you're not 29 years. Oh God, I am. I'm no. You know what? I've accepted. You know what? I turn 42 in a couple months, and I have just
Mhm.
decided because Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's the answer to
Yeah.
life, what the meaning of life. Like
Mhm.
what is that saying? Like the meaning of life of everything.
Yeah. What yeah.
You get to make
What is the meaning
emergency
of
calls.
life?
I like her already. Oh yeah, and she was my new
Yeah.
therapist, so I didn't know, like, she hadn't, like, she's barely even been through a lot of my trauma work with me, and the simple fact that I hit this moment of emotional and mental crisis, like completely broke down mentally and emotionally, completely broke down, and I hadn't broken
Mhm.
down like this in like 3 years, 2 years. I knew what I was going through, but this is the first time with this therapist, so I didn't know how she was going to react. And I mean, she's amazing. I was like, she came into my life at the right time in the right moment, because I was able to message her like and say, I'm in this mental and emotional crisis. Here's what's going on. She's like, okay, can I call you in a few minutes? And she's like, I had an emergency session the next day, like a full session. And then I had my regularly scheduled session. And she's like, call me anytime. Here's what you need to do. Like, she made herself, like, of course, with the boundaries and all this stuff. But
Mhm.
she made herself available when I was in a time of crisis. And not on top of that, it wasn't not just me having somebody to talk to and validate everything that I was going through, because like some therapists, they do that. They just like, oh, I want to talk to my therapist to make me feel better. But it was, she's been enough. Like, she's been there and she's like, okay, what are you feeling? Where are you going? And it's less about making me feel better, but more of helping me process.
Mhm.
And I think that that is very, very important when you have a therapist. And it's one of those, like, she's like, they need to be honest with you, help you see a perspective maybe that you don't see, especially when I'm spiraling, I go self-destructive. It's my fault. I shouldn't have put myself in this situation. I'm the bad guy. I'm the one creating problems. I'm the one. So that's when I am not over here making somebody else the villain. I am making myself the villain. And so it's also very important to have somebody who's going to go, stop. And it's not just making you feel good, but making you see a perspective about yourself, whether it's good, whether say, hey, when I do start making somebody else the villain, they're like, okay, well, let's see where you're accountable for and where you're not. And I think that was
Mm-hmm.
that was really important too, is finding that balance. Eric, you
Mm-hmm.
gold star, as Calvino would say, gold star. Where's the liquid coming from? Of course, nightmare. Listen,
That's a whole different
listen.
direction. That's a different podcast.
Maybe a thought or two that I have had. Maybe I've had that thought or two later on, like in the past, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not what we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about now. It's on the other end of the body. It's fine.
That's not how we're handling it now.
The meaning of life and everything. Yes, that's it. And it's 42.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where
That's what's gonna happen.
I think that's where I'm approaching it. Is not, oh my God, I'm getting old. I think it's just like, okay, I've hit 42. Now's the time. Like this year, I'm gonna find the meaning of life and everything in it, in my life.
There you go.
You know what? No, that's not gonna be easy. It's never easy. I might not get it all figured out. It's fine. I'll sit in that nerdy hope.
Yeah, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
It's the geek birthday, and it all started with asking the question to deep thought. Yes.
Gotcha.
What do you do when you're in a crisis, Sean?
Ooh. Pretend I'm not. um. uh.
You gonna leave me hanging like that? Okay, cool.
No. No. I'm trying to. I'm trying to think like what I used to do versus what I would do. What I would do now, and I'm like, um. I am quick to create villains. I think that's one of the things that I've worked on for a while now. Um, is so usually when I'm in a crisis, my first thing is to blame someone else. Find the person to blame. I know that's not the healthy way to do, and I try not to do that now. but that is uh but that's often what happens. It becomes very easy because I want a place to direct the anger. I want a place to direct
Yes.
um
Oh my God.
because like
That.
when I feel angry, it's like it radiates in all directions and like it feels almost untenable. It feels overwhelming because it's out there. It's like pouring out. But when I find that villain, I can funnel that in one direction and push all that anger in that one direction, and it feels manageable at that point. Um, because I can just throw it all in, like I can deal with it. I can manage it at that point because it's all their fault. And it allows me to be able to. It's an unhealthy coping mechanism. It allows me to not take responsibility for my part in whatever the crisis is.
Right?
Yeah,
Right?
it's all their fault. I don't have to do anything. I'm not the bad guy here. They're the bad guy. They're the bad one. They screwed up. If they had just done something different, if they had not done that or done this different, it there's solace in going, it's not my fault, it's their fault. They did it. They created this problem. I'm in this bad place. Welcome back, Eric. Um, so It's easy to get in that because it allows you to manage those emotions, those uncomfortable emotions. It's a completely unhealthy way to do it, but it is a way to manage that, and to direct that anger into a focal point.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Like you said, like it's their fault. I wouldn't have done the again. I
mhm,
if they had not done this or they weren't like this or they weren't this, I would not have done that. And
yep,
but at the same time, again, you don't that I'm struggling with is that just because okay, take accountability.
mhm,
Did wrong. Fuck it. Shit. I hurt that person. I whatever, that person hurt me, etc. So forth. But you don't have to take it all on. Well,
mhm,
they wouldn't have done this had I not done that. They wouldn't be this
yep,
person if I hadn't been this person. And that's where I
yep,
struggle with because it's black or white. So, and it's easy to
mhm,
go black or white, especially when in a distress state. It's easy to go, if I hadn't done this, they would have done that and we would be fine. Or I wouldn't be in this situation or whatever. And that's very much the mentality that I was raised with. That's the mentality that I've lived with for a very long time. And I'm trying not to do that, which is why I'm trying to retrain my brain and get to that in my trauma brain and in crisis situations. Just like you like that's why like the military and the police and all this stuff, they train you by putting you in situations where your
mhm,
body is going to react out of like because you're gonna like we've talked about this before, but I haven't in a long time, where your body goes to baseline. Your
mhm,
baseline. When you are in panic, when you're fight, flight, or freeze, this is your baseline. Your brain is instantly going to shut off and put all like, where's your baseline? And so I have to retrain where my baseline is and my default setting
mhm,
is. And that's hard. It's having to reprogram my default setting
yeah,
in that I'm not always wrong. I'm not a problem. I may have chose I that my actions may have created a problem, but I am not a problem. I may
mhm,
have chosen to do I have made bad choices, but that doesn't make me a bad person. And also in reverse, they might making bad choices, but that doesn't mean that they're a bad person.
yes,
Their actions may have created a problem, but they are not a problem.
yes,
And it's really hard, especially when you're traumatized, especially when you're going through
oh yeah,
a massively disassociated,
just
dysregulated state.
yeah, dysregulated, yep, yep,
I'm not I'm I'm not gonna lie to you. I know I was like realizing when I was talking. I know it sounds like I'm doing okay and like I'm doing the healthy thing, but I'm
mhm,
it's I do the healthy thing after my brain starts going the unhealthy way. So I'm just letting you know, like I don't have the reason I can say that is because my brain will go for about 10 minutes in the unhealthy and I will be ranting or raving or crying
mhm,
or flagellating. So,
I always get that wrong.
I do too. It's the
Yeah,
flagellation's farting and flagellating is like anyway.
flagellate
Yeah, whatever. I will be
whipping
doing
yourself,
self-harming. I will be like
self-harming, there you go,
yeah, emotion like
yeah,
I will be doing all these things and then I either have to stop and be self-aware. Like, okay, I have to ask
mhm,
myself where is this emotion coming from? Where is the thoughts coming from? Or I have to write it out and it sucks. And there's been a couple times where just writing it out has just been excruciatingly physically painful.
yeah. It's easy to sit here and say the things that we're saying
Flash your
to
ROM.
yeah.
How
Flash
does
what? Flash okay, yeah.
how
Um,
yeah, pretty much. Mea
okay.
culpa. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's easy to say it can look like you said, that we have it all together, and this is, "Oh, well, when we feel this way, this is what we do." It's very different now because we're not dysregulated. We're not in this at this moment, we're not, and so we can approach these. But in the moment when we're dysregulated, this is not what it looks like at all. And it's really and we can sit here and say this is the healthy choice when when this happens, when we're dysregulated, this is the healthy choice. But I think as we all know, when you're dysregulated, oh, it all that stuff gets out the window real fast. Can be thrown out the window. Um
And yes, and that's it. And it's
I,
and especially if somebody
that's
with BPD and somebody who like
mhm,
their emotions are very raw and they're like you feel and CPTSD and trauma. It's that your emotions get triggered, your feelings get raw, and you also get put into these headspaces where you're not safe, even though like
mhm,
you have control over your situation. You're like for me, I'm an adult. I made my own choices. I pay my own bills. It's what I do, but it's in that moment I don't feel safe. And in that
mhm,
moment, it's terrifying,
mhm,
regardless of what the feeling is, because for me, the feeling is so intense. Take a normal person and how they process that emotion. And my feeling, like how I'm experiencing it, is like at least 3 times bigger. The problem is bigger. The feeling is bigger.
yeah.
Hi, Blue Ellie.
Hey, Blue
Everything
Ellie.
is bigger
Yeah, yeah.
and more painful and scary. And when the anger is just more intense, but just like everything else, I think a lot of times we talk about the negative of BPD, and
Mhm,
I watched and read some therapy stuff because that's what I do. Because that's the
mhm,
only, it's what I do. Um, just trying to make sense of my world because a lot of it doesn't make sense, um, a lot, but it's what they don't always talk about. Sometimes the good part of that about feeling emotion so intensely
mhm,
because I can feel happiness intensely. I can feel excited with
yeah.
with energy. I can feel love, though love for BPD people is very that's a double-edged sword. So blah, blah, blah. Um,
Mhm,
but like I feel the good things too,
mhm.
and so having to remember that.
Whew.
So, hey Sean,
Uh,
what were you
Hi.
gonna say?
Oh, no, I was just gonna talk about, like, I had a thought about, like, the emotions that I deal with and how I deal with them. Um,
Okay,
but,
nope, say
um,
it.
okay. So I deal with intellectualization. So for anyone that doesn't know, intellectualization is trying to apply logic to your emotions to in order to make them go away. Um, and so I that's been so in my life it's been like, oh, I shouldn't feel this way because. Um, and so for me it's always, oh, I feel this emotion, I shouldn't feel this way. I don't have a reason to feel this way. I'm not justified to feel this way. I feel uncomfortable. I'm going to squish that down because I don't have a reason to. And that's so whenever I feel uncomfortable emotions, that's the struggle that I have. That's um my first instinct has always been figure out where it came from to squash it. And to not so I don't have to feel it because I don't want to feel it. Um, so what I've learned to do is it's difficult because it's somewhat similar, but the result the reason behind it is very different. The intention behind it is very different. So now what I try to do is, um, I can understand the emotion, but not to discount it and to get rid of it, but to just accept that it's there. That's the hardest part, is to go, okay, I feel this way, and that's okay to feel this way. Let myself feel this way. Um, Even if I'm like, okay, so I'm feeling this way because of this. And a lot of it's safety. I found a lot of it is safety and abandonment. A lot of that spurns my emotions. Like, okay, so yeah, that's why I feel the way I do, but it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to be angry or envious or scared, and let that emotion play out. Because I've spent so much of my life trying to stop the emotions from playing out.
Oh, Nev, were you here when we had the whole Vulcan discussion? Like that was the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a very nerdy moment for
That
me.
was. We
I
did,
was
yeah, we
very
had a
excited
whole
about
other
that.
thing.
Um,
Yeah.
and I think for me, like I feel everything intensely. My emotions are all out on my sleeve.
Yeah.
And they're so overwhelming. There's no way I can intellectualize it, which is weird
Yeah.
for me, I think, because I was trained. I was trained to not express that emotion.
Mhm.
So it's not even intellectualizing. It was feel the emotion. I would feel the emotion, but don't express the emotion.
Yeah. Mask it.
Oh, absolutely mask it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely
Mhm.
trained. I was trained. I was trained
Yep.
like an
Mhm.
animal. I was absolutely trained. And I have talked about this before. Like I was trained
Mhm.
to not feel, to not express emotion.
Yep.
So I didn't know how to process it because I was more
Mhm.
concentrated on just not even not feeling it, but not expressing it. So all my energy, whenever I was feeling the intense emotion, was all
Mhm.
put into not how can I not come off however it is I'm feeling. My facial, because
Yeah.
y'all see me, like my facial expressions are so expressive. My facial, like I had to, my hands,
You
my
have
how
subtitles.
I do have subtitles. I stopped a company meeting because of it, so it's fine. Um, that's where all my energy went. So my energy wasn't processing the emotion. My energy went
Mhm.
to, because I was trained how not to express that emotion.
Mhm.
Don't let anyone know how much they hurt you. Don't let anyone
Yes.
know how upset you are. Do not let anyone ever know
Mhm.
that you're rattled. Don't even let anyone know that you're too happy or too sad or any of this stuff. Not sad at all or angry at all or disappointed. Do everything with grace. Do everything with a smile. Do
Oh my.
everything. I know.
You said this wasn't about religious trauma. Do everything with grace.
hmm Everything with
Yeah.
great, and it wasn't just that religious mindset. It was also that old South mindset.
So
It's the
yeah.
very Southern
Yeah, that makes
mindset.
sense. Yeah.
Just smile.
Was it Be Sweet or Keep Sweet or whatever?
Well, that's a totally different thing. But yeah,
Okay.
I mean, similar thing. But it's just like
Yeah. Okay.
everything is you unruffled. And I think that that's
Yeah.
the thing
Oh,
is
yeah,
that
yeah.
that whole like I think that this is what bothers me is like that and a lot of not secular people use it too. It's that duck mindset. It's like, oh, they look like they're gliding on the surface, but underneath they're kicking like that. That's horseshit. I think that
Oh
that's
god,
horseshit. That's
yes.
also
Yes.
perpetuating the idea that you need to look like you have your shit together, but you're just working and struggling underneath. And I think that that is so
Mhm.
disingenuous. And I think that that's why
Mhm.
it's important for me which is why I wanted to come on here, is I don't have it together. I was crying for an hour and a half earlier today. I was like, I am full of anxiety and full of fear and full of all this stuff. But you know what? I'm also full of fight.
Mm. Yep, absolutely.
I'm also full of fight. And what am I fighting for? I'm full of fight. I'm resilient. And I'm going to go 12 rounds with life. And I'm going to probably get knocked on my ass. But I'm going to get back up. That doesn't mean it's not going to hurt. Doesn't mean I won't cry. Doesn't mean I won't struggle. But I'll keep moving. And I won't give up. I'll want to. And I am making that very clear too. I'll want to give up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll want to just lay on the floor and just let it go. I will have those thoughts. I will have those urges. What, baby? What? Huh? I'm streaming. Oldest hatchling says hi, everyone.
Hey, Oldest hatchling.
Yeah?
There's a challenge.
No.
Because there's this thing
No.
I want to do is like one person can't speak, one person can't hear, one person can't speak, and then there's me on Chloe.
And now we see
So much fun.
the mother in her natural habitat, adulting.
What kind?
Parenting.
Okay, you know what? Ask Chloe, and if she's okay with it, I will think about doing it. She's downstairs. That's what I fight for.
Yeah.
I fight so my kids, my girls, they grow up, they have what I didn't have. Because they are exceptional humans.
They are.
I fight for myself and I fight for them. And you know what? I'm not perfect. I'm going to be very, very clear. I make a lot of shitty choices. Regardless of the reason, I make very, 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 very poor choices. And I've hurt a lot of people in my life. And I've never hidden that fact, but I think I want to remind people of that fact. I've made really shitty choices and I've hurt people very, very deeply, regardless of the reason or the justification that I found in my head. I've made poor choices and I've hurt people. And do I have to hold the consequences of those choices? Absolutely. I never said we were going to go do something. We went out to Kibbles yesterday.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I'm streaming right now.
I'm gonna go get pizza.
Okay, you go get pizza, baby. It's downstairs in the fridge. I love the fact that my kids, like, I think that's the one thing about when I moved out and I'm in my new setup. I say new, I mean, I've been here for a while, but like in this setup is that because when I was at the other house, like I was in my office and the door was closed. So it was very closed off from them. But this setup, because I'm out in an open space office area, like my daughter's room is like right here. Like she has to walk by me and like the stairs are right there. So Chloe, like my kids have no problem. Like it's one of those, they no longer feel like they don't feel like they're bothering me. They're just like, what are you doing? I'm streaming. Oh, okay. Like, and
And then
yeah, but I like that because it's one of those, I don't feel disconnected from them anymore. Like I
Yeah.
did. And that they don't feel disconnected from me, even when I'm streaming. Like they don't feel like streaming is something that's taking me away from them. And
Yeah.
they enjoy being on here too. Someone's like, but
Yeah. They make an appearance every once in a while.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I was talking about my kids being exceptional humans. They are.
Yep. Mhm.
But I think back to what I was saying, I've done some really shitty things. And I feel that. And am I having to accept the consequences of those shitty actions? Yes. Are they pleasant? Nope. Am I sitting here thinking to myself, oh, I deserve this. I'm a bad person. Well, yes, I am. And in a lot of times I am, but I'm also fighting that mindset.
Mhm.
There's taking accountability and accepting This is going to be uncomfortable, that I can't control how anybody else feels or how they act or what they do. I also know myself. I'm like, okay, this is the consequences of my actions. However, I also know where my boundary is. Okay, I will accept my accountability, but I will not be your whipping boy because you need me to feel bad for you to feel better.
Absolutely.
There is accepting the consequence, and then there is making you pay.
Perpetually chastising you.
Making you
Chastising.
pay.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a huge mind difference. There's a huge different mindset. This is the consequence of the action. And they have every right to set boundaries, to make decisions that is best and right for them because of my actions. Cool. But it is not my responsibility, like I said, to be the whipping boy because they want to feel better.
Or because they haven't processed it. They haven't worked through it.
I can accept being in the villain in people's stories because of my actions. I can accept that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to spend my entire life fighting that for you.
Yep.
I will accept the consequences of my actions and my choices. I will not pay a debt because you think I owe it. And in turn, somebody else, they need to accept the consequences of their choices. I do not need to make them pay so that I can stop feeling uncomfortable, whether that's anger or sadness, depression, fear, whatever that is. I will feel better as long as karma takes place, as long as they get what they deserve. What do they deserve? Yeah. Who's that for you to say? And who's that for me to say?
Mm-hmm. And is it ever enough?
If you don't deal with your trauma, if you don't deal with your own hurt, if you're not dealing with your own shit, it's never enough. I can tell you that exactly right now. That's my point.
That whole wishing them harm, wishing them karma, it's not like something bad happens and then you're like, okay, I'm good, I'm done. No, it never stops. You're constantly on that. You're constantly wishing them. And in a way, it becomes an obsession. You always want something. It's never enough for when you go down that road, it's never enough. It never stops. Because you're not healing through it. You're not dealing with it.
Right. And that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's a quote: to accept being someone's villain. Why do we shy away from being someone's hero?
Humble. Because we're not allowed to be a hero.
Is that it, really?
I don't know. I think I was never allowed to. I mean, how many of us have deflected compliments and positive things people say? We don't. It's hard to be someone's hero. I'm saying that fits everybody. I'm saying that's what. I think we deflect that. I think. Mm-hmm.
I'm good in this chapter. Yes, you are. Blue Lily, I know what you're going through too, girl. Girl, I love you more than life itself. You are my ride and die. We're going to be in the nursing home together. Blue Lily, I love that woman. I love that woman more than life itself. Like, I really do. Never deflected compliments. I know you. Let me go text you a compliment right now and see how well you take that, sir. I got your real number.
One of the easiest ways to make our friends uncomfortable is to pay them compliments.
Ooh, that's also true. Yeah, that's why I was like, no, don't. So he told you. I think that's why, like, Eric, I think that's why when he's like, we're not good, I don't want to be a hero. Because Eric is right. It's that expectation. Just like, I don't want to be perfect.
Yeah.
and words matter. Words do matter. And even in the kind words, it's like, oh, you're my hero. Yes, that works. I don't know. Girl,
Yeah.
girl. Yeah, you right. I think I think that the problem is that, again, it's the hero and the villain. I think that is that mindset that makes, I think, and thank fucking God that I'm actually in that place where the word hero, being somebody's hero, makes me uncomfortable, because and it's not a lot of when I say I'm just human, I'm just a person, and so many people are like, oh, you're deflecting, or don't put yourself down. I'm not. And I think that's the problem that I run into is, if I don't want to make somebody else a villain, I don't want to be the hero. That's not the point. That is over there saying, that's like saying emotions are good and bad, that there are good emotions and bad emotions, heroes and villains, victims and villains, and all of those things. It's putting the two sides against each other. And I'm working for me, and especially in this moment in my life. Did y'all hear my stomach growl? No, that was cool.
Yeah.
In this moment where I'm dysregulated and I'm feeling all these emotions and I'm in this triage trauma, just fucking state of mind, I don't want to be a hero, and I don't want to be right, and I don't want to win. I don't want them to win. I don't want to, but I don't want to be, it's not about competition. I'm allowed to be scared. Do I think all this shit? Am I going to accept somebody's, like, am I?
I was thinking back to, no, sorry, go ahead.
I don't want to be a hero, because a hero means that there's a winner.
It also means you can't be a human. You can't be fallible. You can't have problems. You can't have. I was thinking back to it with my ex. That was one of the things, like, if someone says you're my hero, I think Eric nailed it on the head. It immediately creates an expectation that you can't have your own problems, your own things that you have to work through, your own.
Because she expected you to be a Superman, right? Like, didn't
She did.
expect you to be.
My ex, she even said that. When I was sick, I got sick. No, I mean, it was just, it was a normal sick. I was just really bad off. I felt awful, like COVID kind of level sick. And my ex did not like that, because she's like, I can't deal with you when you're sick. I need you to be the superhero. I need you to just be okay, because I can't deal with you when you're sick. So I spent the rest of the relationship attempting not to be sick and attempting not to present anything that could be considered a flaw. And that was one of the worst things I could have possibly done. I was miserable. Yeah, so, like you're saying, don't call someone you're my hero. Like, that sentence right there just makes me twitch now, thinking about it. You're my hero. No. You can be appreciative of whatever it is that I helped you with, but don't say I'm a hero. And the other thing that I thought of is, don't call me your knight in shining armor either. Yeah, that's where my brain went first, is don't call me a knight in shining armor. Because
You're not a knight in shining armor. You're a knight wrapped in aluminum foil. Let's be real honest.
You know what? I'm the Don Quixote of knights in shining armor.
I needed that.
I'm a quixotic knight.
I mean, all I can imagine is the little dog from the labyrinth that's like on the other sheepdog. I will save you, fair maiden. Like,
mine went to Don Quixote fighting the windmill. Yeah, that because some people are like, that's what I want. I need
But
a
we
knight in
talked about
shining.
that. We talked about white knights, and we
Mhm.
talked about
Yep,
that, and we talked about
exactly.
that in the trauma before.
Yeah,
I think it's actually it's not on Twitch
mhm,
anymore, but if you want to go to my YouTube, it's on there. Yeah, for sure. Um,
yeah. Bear. Oh my god. And Bear with the song lyrics. Thanks, Bear. Hey,
can
Bear.
be your hero. Oh my God. Oh,
Yeah,
that's taking me back to
right.
college.
Lyrics hit different. Lyrics hit different now, don't they?
Yeah, but you like that song was like so popular in college.
Oh,
Do you
it
remember?
was. It was. Yes.
Actually, I think that was mine and John Paul's song. I think that
I'm gonna need a moment. Okay. I'm
I
fine. I'm
need
cool. I'm
that
cool.
in
I'm
my
cool.
life
I'm
right
good. There's some for anyone that does there's some history in those words. There's a whole lot of baggage.
Oh, even Brian remembers.
Right?
He remembers
Exactly.
too. Okay.
Oh no, don't make us break out the Savage Garden lyrics.
Oh, I needed that laugh.
Uh,
All I'm saying is that I
wow.
am not okay. And I know I've laughed
Mhm,
here, and I know but that's also my way of processing too. Again, for those of you
mhm.
who haven't been here with me for the past 3 years, this is how I process: is I get on the internet and I talk to my screen, and I just talk. And sometimes I'll get on a
Mhm.
podcast with it like Pep, and I'll process that way or whatever. Or I'm just sitting here, literally sitting in my own just talking screen, literally just talking it out to myself.
Yeah.
And it's okay to embrace that there are moments of okay. I think that that is where it's like, oh, I'm in this really tough time in my life. I need to consistently feel bad to justify being in this bad space.
Ooh.
That's another big
Ooh.
thing that I am trying to fight right now. That is a huge thing I'm trying to fight right now. It devolves into chaos. Yeah, believe me, it's fine, but
Yes.
we love you.
Mhm.
Um, so that's the thing. Is like, I often felt like I'm going through this incredibly difficult time in my life, so I've got to consistently and always feel bad. I have to feel sad. I have to constantly be crying, or I have to constantly be mad, because if I'm not constantly or always feeling this way or acting this way or doing these things, then it must not be as bad as I thought it was, because I was again trained. It
Mhm.
must not be that bad if you're not this. Well, no, that's not the facts. The fact is, it's still just as bad. It is just that I've gotten myself to a place where, okay, I can actually feel regulated. I can accept where I'm at, and I can actually like maybe I'm in a place where for a moment I'm okay. Because you can't consistently be in that dark, angry, sad, depressed, because that's not good either. If you're trying to work through it, then you can't sit in it.
Mhm.
Does that mean I'm not gonna, like, stop streaming and then, 30 minutes later or 10 minutes later not burst into tears for another 45 minutes? No, that's not saying that. Just for this moment, I'm okay.
Mhm.
Embrace the
Uh,
garbage. It will
yeah.
have to be taken out eventually. Yeah.
Um, I'm bad about repeatedly chastising myself and sitting in that. Um, because if I don't, I must not feel bad. I must not be. I have to constantly. What's the word? Flagellate. Um, eh, because if I'm not doing that, I must not feel bad, or I must not be. What's what am I looking for? M- I have to sufficiently hurt myself before I can feel that I have paid penance. It's like I've got to pay penance for whatever it is. Remorseful. That's what I'm looking for. If I don't feel bad for a certain length of time, I must not be remorseful for what I did. And so, like, we've had this conversation where you'll tell me something and we'll have a conversation about it. And you'll be like, when we finish this conversation, I'm not thinking about this anymore because we've talked about it. And I'm the one that will, like, for hours after the conversation, when you've long moved on, I'm sitting there continuing to beat myself up over it. Because I feel like if I don't, I must not feel remorseful that I did something. And that's a tough habit to break. It's
Oh,
hard. It's
absolutely.
hard for me to.
Because for most of our lives, we've been told if you get to come to that place where you have accepted, you've forgiven yourself or given that grace, it doesn't mean you feel any less comfortable or about it. You do feel remorseful, but you've come to that place where I did something bad. I'm going to accept those consequences. And I understand that when I come across those consequences, that I am not going to get mad or upset or hurt or all of those things. But we were told it's the idea that that other person comes to you and goes, you're not even sorry. You're not crying. You're not mad. You look at you. You obviously don't regret what you did. And so we
Yes.
equate that with we're a bad person if we get to that place where because they haven't forgiven us. And that's okay. We're not going to force them to, again, getting into that mindset of, yes, we did wrong. And I have to accept that they may hate me forever. They might be angry at me for months, if not years. They're going to feel however they're going to feel. And but that's where the mindset comes in of, I will accept my consequences, but I will not pay the price. And I can only, and you can't tell me I'm not sorry about that, or I don't feel remorseful, or I don't feel absolutely devastated. But what I have done is I've done my own work. I have done my own forgiveness. That does not mean that I am not feeling wrecked, like I'm not feeling these things. What I am feeling is that I did wrong. I'm feeling these feelings. I'm feeling uncomfortable right now, but I don't have to react the way that they want me to react. And I think that also for me, because, okay, here's where I'm a bad person. Here's where one of those things where because I was that person. I was that person on the other side that went, they're not sorry because they're not crying.
If you were sorry, you would. If you were really sorry, if
they really cared about me, or if they really did this, or that if they really felt all of these emotions they say they're feeling, then they wouldn't be acting this way.
You gatekeep the other person.
Right. And I am incredibly guilty of that.
Yeah.
It's me, the problem. I am that person for somebody else. I am that person for somebody else, for actually several people. I am that person for somebody else. It's very much if they did wrong, but they're not sorry. They don't feel this because they're not acting the way I think that they should be acting. And again, it's me in that healing space where I go, fuck. It is not that they didn't feel those emotions. It's just that I was over here judging them and being angry and mean because they weren't being how I wanted them to be. Which then in turn, it's like it's that whole thing where it's like, oh, I must be the enemy. I must be the bad person, but I'm not. And I recognize that. Because in the end, it's not about being a winner or a loser. It is not who's right and who's wrong. That's the big one.
In every relationship, that is the
I have to be right, because if I'm not right, that means you're right. And then I don't want to be wrong.
I can't.
I
can't accept that.
I can't be wrong.
Because if my right or wrongness, my wrongness especially, ties directly into my self-worth. There's one, if you haven't analyzed that one, because that's a me thing.
I'm there.
I can't be wrong, because if I'm wrong, or if I did something wrong, or if I hurt someone, that's tied directly into my self-worth.
Yeah.
If I did something wrong, or if I am wrong, that means my self-worth takes a knock, and I can't accept that. Because for me, I'm a golden child. So I can't do things wrong. I can't be wrong. I can't be the bad one. I have to be the golden one that does everything right.
And for me, I'm the scapegoat. I'm the black sheep. So I have to be right to prove that I am worth being around, because if I'm
Mhm.
wrong, then I'm the problem. If I'm wrong,
And
then
nobody wants to be around you.
nobody wants to be around me, and I also don't have any worth because I am the problem.
Mhm.
But the reality is any type of relation, friendship, marriage, dating, whatever, romantic, whatever relationship. And something that, I mean, I know you and I both struggle with, because we struggle with this in just our friendship. Like, it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is the right and wrong. And we both can
Mhm.
be right and justified in how we feel. We both also can be wrong.
Mhm.
And it doesn't change our value as humans. That doesn't change the value. It's just having to understand that, again, you have to zoom out. But I think for me, it was just always a competition. I have to be right. He can't be right. They can't be right. They can't be
Mhm.
right. Because if they are right, that means all of the bad things that people have said about me are right. And that's what I'm fighting in my head. It is not the fact that I'm fighting the present moment problem. I am
Yes.
fighting
That.
that if I am not right, like, it's that black and white thinking that if I am not right in this present moment, this argument, this situation, if I am not right,
Mhm.
that means everything. That means that they are right and everything that people have said about me is right. And that's a trauma response. It's a trauma way of thinking. And again, that is what I'm fighting against. And let me tell you, it is hard as motherfucking everything that I've ever done.
Yep. Because you're not in any relationship, romantic or not, you're not, if you're constantly fighting the right or wrong, if that's the fight that you're having, the relationship, the friendship, whatever, I use them synonymously, is doomed. If that's the way you approach it, and I say that for myself because I do the same thing. We have different reasons why we do it, different traumas that what we do it, but we're having the same fight. Um, and it's absolutely, and that's the focus. It becomes the focus, and as long as that is our focus, it's that relationship is doomed.
Yeah.
It's hard to change that. It's hard to shift that because we're fighting. We've done that for our entire lives.
We're not only
We're
fighting the problem in front of us, we're
Yes.
fighting all of the shit behind us. So we're fighting the trauma responses, we're fighting the coping mechanisms, the intrusive thoughts,
Yes.
all of the things. We're fighting those things as well at the same time. So if we are not in therapy, if we're not self-aware, if we're not,
Mhm.
and we're not perfect. And so, like, when you get all these tools, you're not always, like, unfortunately, again, you're human. You're going to fall into these old habits, and you're going to fall into these old
Mhm.
behaviors, and you're going to do those things. And that's not what healing is. Healing is recognizing this is where this behavior came from. It doesn't excuse it. It's accepting that
Mhm.
behavior or that intrusive thought or that mindset. It's accepting that, saying and going, okay, this is where this is. Taking accountability for whatever that behavior, the consequences for whatever behavior hey, I realize I did this. It's not an excuse. That is on me.
Mhm.
It wasn't you, or maybe you, this is what triggered it. Here's what, but it's taking accountability for that. But when you're in
Mhm.
that heated, dysregulated moment, you're fighting it on both fronts. And
Mhm.
it's not about the fact that you're going to stop the fight, stop the battle on both fronts. When you're healing and you're getting, like, okay, I'm going to speak just for myself, but when I'm healing, it is not about the fact that I can't, I'm going to heal it so I don't have to fight this. It's not that.
Mhm.
It's, I'm healing and getting these toolboxes and the tools and the reinforcements so that when I do have that battle, I know that I can win that battle
Mhm.
while confronting this problem. So if I'm fighting on both fronts, I am reinforced on the back end.
Yes.
It's not about
'Cause that
stopping.
battle.
Yeah, it's not about stopping the
Mhm.
battle. It's about equipping yourself with the right tools to be able to fight that
Yes.
battle.
Yes. recognize recognize that you are fighting that battle on the back end and having those tools preparation so that when it happens, because it's not going away. That battle doesn't just go away. You simply have you learn that you have the tools equipped, as you said, to deal with that battle. Recognize that it's there and then dealing with it.
And
Um,
the effort it takes to fight that battle becomes less.
yes. Yeah, it does. Hmm.
Okay, so I said we were only gonna make this short. We've talked for almost 2 hours. That's fine. And again, I told you. I said I was
This
like, I
is
don't
what
want to.
we
I was like,
do.
I only want to stream for 45 minutes. I'm not in the headspace, but here I am talking for motherfucking 2 hours.
We
I'm sorry about that.
we did. We only streamed for 45 minutes, and then we only streamed for another 45 minutes, and then we only streamed for another half an hour. Uh,
Yeah.
here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah. This is important. This is important to us. Mental
Yeah.
health, our journeys.
A pick
Hey,
me up.
Paragon.
Short story long. Oh, my dad. If you knew
Yeah.
Papa
He would be so
Roogs,
proud. So
Papa
proud.
Roogs is very much, to make a long story short,
Yes.
that is his famous saying. Like, if anybody thinks
It-
of him, that is what he says, to make a long story short. And then he will go on for another 30
Ha.
minutes. Papa Roogs is just like that.
We love him, but yes.
And not just a chore. It
Aw,
is.
thanks,
It is.
Derek.
It
is,
is.
absolutely.
I do enjoy my Sunday streams.
Yeah.
You make it tolerable, Pep Pep.
I'm tolerable. That's great.
Shut
Papa,
up.
yeah, Papa Roogs.
You know I love you, Sean.
I know. And Paragon, we love you too.
Sure.
we
Okay,
got those
so
stories,
Paragon needs
yeah.
a pick me up.
Yes. I love when Paragon. It doesn't matter what the stream is. When Paragon joins the stream, it's always better. Paragon, your humor, the humor that you bring, the personality that you bring to every single one of these streams is fantastic. It is when I see that you join and you pop in, I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. I look forward to seeing you in every single stream.
I do too. But Paragon, I would like to say that you were actually used as an example in one of my dysregulated moments. I was in a very bad space. And as part of my plan with my therapist is that I need to, when I'm in that space, I can't sit by myself. I have to, because my urge is to withdraw and not say anything and sit in it by myself. And what I need to do, and so I that is part of my plan, my emergency plan, if you will, is to call somebody in my list and tell them how I'm feeling, tell them where I'm at, and allow myself that safe space with somebody. And I had called Jay, and I was like, I'm a bad person. And I was going on that downward spiral of I'm the problem. I'm a bad person. I've done bad things. That makes me a bad person. And he was like listing all the ways. He's like, would a bad person do this? Would a bad person do that? And he's like, he brought you up. He's like, would a bad person make somebody in their community feel so safe and so loved that they would buy you a birthday present and bring it to you? I was like, and he like give you the little Highland cow and just enjoy your presence. What a bad person. Is that a bad person? I was like, no. I was literally like, is this hysterical? I was like, no.
You got tainted jade.
No, I didn't get tainted jade. I got jade.
You got jade. Yeah. You got jade. Well done.
Happy belated birthday, Paragon. But I mean, it was true. It's like, so he brought it up, and it was like, I still have my little cow. Little cow's in right there. But no.
No Paragon.
No, it brought me so much joy, and it still brings me so much joy and happiness. And reminding me that there are people out there who do care about me, and that sometimes you need that reminder. Because when you're in a dark place, I know for me, it's often right now. I'm like, I'm a bad person. I'm a burden. No one loves me. No one cares about me. I've hurt people. It's, and it's not selfish.
Mm. Say the words.
No.
Use your words.
It is not selfish to reach out when you are in need. It is not attention seeking or needy when you are telling somebody about how you feel, even if it's a bad emotion. It is not you looking for pity when you need comfort, validation, and reassurance. It is not you being a victim because you are angry at what has happened. It is you being human. And that entire sentence fucking sucked.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna need a clip of that so that we can replay it. I mean, it would be terrible if somebody clipped that. Oh no, don't do that, Calvino. Don't clip that.
He's working right now. He's not going to clip it.
All of that is very true.
Oh, it's today? Happy birthday.
Mm-hmm. Happy birthday, Peregrine.
You know what I think we should do?
What should we do?
After I do my chores, because, you know, adulting, I'm trying to adult. We should maybe get Paragon on and we can play some 76 with him.
We could.
Actually, be very careful with that one, Paragon, because Suck It Up has actually been used against me in a toxic way. So, I mean, you're right. I will accept the fact that though that sentence did suck, it is still true. And I will need to learn to accept that. Yes.
Accept those positive things. Accept those truths about yourself.
I think the one that is the hardest for me is telling somebody that's right, Paragon. Or Calvino.
Oh, come on, Calvino. Dang it. Oh, wait, your voice just got really scratchy. Is that me or you?
Can you hear me now?
Hold
on.
Birthday. Oh, is your audio crap out? No, don't do that.
It did crap out. What do you think?
Yeah.
Really? Is it still scratchy?
Nope. Not yet.
No?
We're gonna let you keep trying. You'll get it. Technical difficulties have been.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, wait, it sounds clear on you. Okay, so maybe it's me. Maybe my.
I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah, it must be. The problem is me. Okay, hold on.
Okay. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, the part of the sentence that bothers me is
you keep talking.
Is not feeling like a victim. Also, I can still hear Sean. So yeah, technical difficulties. Yeah, it must be Peppa. I don't know. Peppa, you're the problem. I don't want to feel like I'm the victim. I don't want to feel like I'm a problem or a victim. Peppa, we're almost done. It's fine. Can you hear me?
There he goes. I can hear you now.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Calvino, Pep is the problem.
Oh my God.
Sorry about that. Well, I'm back.
Okay. Whatever works for you. I mean, however that works.
Yeah, I think it was voice meter that crapped out on me.
Okay. Well, anyway, I think the part of that sentence is I don't want to tell people how I feel and what I'm going through because I don't want to come off seeming like I'm the victim. I think that has a lot to do with my trauma and my mother being like, oh, I'm all this and being the victim. I don't want to feel like I'm a problem, and that's hard. It's hard because I'm not. I don't want to. It's like I'm not complaining. I know it'll be okay, and I'm not. I don't want people to think that I am looking for pity, or I'm asking people to choose sides, or I'm looking for a winner and a loser. I don't want that. I don't want that. So I don't say anything. I don't tell people what I'm going through or how I'm feeling, because I don't want people to feel bad for me. I don't. It's the worst thing ever. I'm like, please, 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 I can do it myself. I can handle it myself. And having like, that is why it's in my therapy emergency plan. I have to reach out.
hmm
I have to be honest, and I have to tell people how
hmm
I'm feeling, regardless of whether it's good or bad. Oh, because you have that, oh, this makes me an awful person for thinking that. Oh, this makes me a bad person because I feel this way. Oh, like I don't, because you don't want to tell people because you're afraid you're going to get judged for what you're thinking and how you're feeling. But that's why it's
hmm
important to have those people that provide that safe space of going, regardless of what you're thinking, how you're feeling, you need to express it and say it, and then work through it.
hmm
It doesn't make you an awful person. It just means you're having very intrusive bad thoughts. Okay.
hmm
That doesn't make you a victim. That just means you're experiencing these emotions and you're not looking for pity. You're not looking for somebody to take sides. You need those people. You need that safe space.
hmm Absolutely.
And I hate it. I'm being 100%.
hmm
I am very grateful for my safe spaces. I am. I'm very grateful for these people, but I fucking hate it because I'm like, I'm not a wreck. I'm not crazy. I'm not
All
don't
those.
pity. I'm not looking for pity. I'm not looking for you to feel sorry for me. Please don't feel sorry for me. Please. I am not asking that. I'm not making them the villain. I am not making them a bad guy. I am not asking to be the victim. I'm not wanting you to feel bad for me and feel sorry for me and all the blah, blah, blah. I'm not doing that. I really not. I'm just feeling this way and I can't control it. Like,
It sounds like you're doing a lot of predicting on how other people are going to respond.
yay, drama. When you grow up
Yeah,
with a
and
mom, who still to this day is is the constant victim,
hmm
that
yeah,
you never know what is real and what's not. You way to panic about
yeah,
trying not to be that person.
yeah.
So excited
Oh,
about
and
that.
I think I'm the king of the assuming I know predicting what other people are gonna how other people are gonna respond. I do the overthinking and plan every conversation that might happen and how it might go and all the possible scenarios. Yeah,
Oh,
sucks.
I've been
Yeah,
talking very
yeah.
constantly with my support group. You're in that support group, but you've been talking about my
Mhm.
in that group about how I have those conversations. I don't know if anybody in this audience has it, but I'm sure. I mean, I have been told by all of those people. It's like you're sitting there and you're having those conversations slash arguments slash all of the things, like you're in your head. You're having those future predicting. You're predicting the future, predicting what they're going to do, predicting,
Mhm.
and then how are you going to respond, because you don't want to be left unguarded. You don't want to be left unarmed, and you want to be able to,
Mhm.
because somewhere in your brain, you're not going to, in that moment, not going to be able to say exactly what you want to say or say how you feel or any of that. So you have to
Mhm.
say it ahead of time, so that when you get in that moment, knowing you're not going to be able to say it, that you've said it and you've expressed it and
Yes.
you've had those.
Mhm.
So you create the scene in your head so that you can say what you need to say and feel heard and feel the emotion that you want
Mhm.
to feel.
Yeah.
Yep. 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 Bear gun. Yep. That.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what it is. Um, all the possibilities that of what they could say and how you might respond to it. For me, it's often a control. It's me. It's often a chess match. That's where I'll often go. That's where I went a lot when I was younger. Um, it was like there was always a chess match. And so for me, it was like planning out the chess match, knowing what moves they're going to make so that I can counter the moves. So it gave me an illusion of control
Yep.
so that I could win, so I could win the conversation. Yeah, sucks.
And trust me, I do that. But I'm trying to catch myself when I do it.
Yep.
I'm trying to, like, it's not that I can stop them from happening. Like, Jay even told me that. He's like, because he does it all the time. Like, everybody does it, but he's like, yeah, my therapist told me
Yeah.
it's like, you can't stop it, but you got to accept
Yeah,
it.
you just manage it.
Yeah. And just say, okay, woo, where am I going right
Yeah.
now? What is, and I think that's the thing. I stop myself and like, okay, this hasn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
What is this going to accomplish?
Mm-hmm.
And is this healthy? Like, I mean, it's like, is this what I need? Is this the road I need to go down? Because most of the time it isn't. Because most of the time it's
Mhm.
me again justifying whatever emotion it is I'm feeling and trying to come out the winner. Just like you said, just trying to come out the
Mhm.
winner. And now I'm like,
Yeah.
if I want to change that winner loser mindset, I can't go down that path. I
Mm-mm.
accept
Yep.
that I can't stop those thoughts, but I can also go stop myself in my tracks and do a fucking U-turn.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We're not having those conversations. We're not doing that. We're not going
You
down
can,
that road.
yeah. You start even if you can't stop yourself from going down that road because your thoughts are just going to hit your thoughts. Your brain's going to do its thing. And I have realized that I could be happy and excited about something 1 minute, and literally one small thought will go right through my brain, and it will
Mhm.
literally knock me into a triggered
Tank it.
moment next
Mhm.
minute. And that was like,
Yeah.
oh, I must be crazy. No, that's just my brain doing its thing. And I can be like, okay, here's where my brain went. And I'm like, okay, I know what it is, recognizing what it is. And depending on the thought, sometimes I can't stop myself from going down that path. And I just got to see it all the way out. Just like a
Mhm.
highway. You turn on the wrong highway. And sometimes they have like exits all along the way. So you can just get off right quick. Sometimes you got to go down like 3 miles and you just got to, before you can turn your ass around and come back. And it's
Yeah.
going to take a little bit longer than you wanted to because you went down the wrong road. But it happens. And that's the way I have to think about it. Is there an exit right here? Am I in a place where I can just exit right quickly, or am I going to have to ride this one all the way out?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But
I like what Jay calls it battle mapping. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
any side of the road is
You're-
an exit if you're brave enough.
I mean, that's
Also
fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think 2 hours is
I think we have sufficiently had a short stream. Our short stream has gone long enough.
Oh my God. I feel like that's when, like, oh, it's been a quiet day. Like that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Never again, Sean. I am never to say, okay, I just want to stream for a little bit. Never.
Just a short stream.
Just a short stream. And you should just go
The kiss of
whenever I say that, you go,
Uh-huh.
okay, so we're in for the long haul. Let me pee. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do I need to grab a snack and a drink? I'm gonna need to stay hydrated for this one. I'm gonna pop some popcorn.
That was a good short session, right? So reality is, I am not in a good place. I am actually better right now. I think after with me talking through this, thank you, Sean. I appreciate it, and thank you guys for allowing me to process and
Absolutely.
talk this out. I am going 12 rounds with life right now. I am having to get in that place where I am processing my actions, also processing where I am, processing what's happening just in life in general. I'm almost done. Oh my God. She's just standing there. But and again, it doesn't mean it's gonna last forever. Sometimes I just have to weather the storm. It doesn't mean another storm's not right behind it. That just means I just keep moving. I'm not in a good place. I am army crawling right now in the highway of life. Just right.
Yep.
With that, when I tell myself I'm gonna have a weekend to myself or a free day, like the fuck you are. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, all
right. We love you.
We do. Thank you.
I guess I'm gonna research feet pics and just figure. I don't know. I'm already working 2 jobs. I don't know. I don't know what else I got. I'm like selling plasma. I don't know. I sell my hair.
Oh no, not the hair.
Not the hair. All right. Thank you guys.
All right.
So we will talk to you guys later. Bye.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Did you really just high five over me right
No,
now?
we didn't. You can do
And
it
we're
again.
live. Hello.
You don't even do that well from the front seat.
Okay.
And the bear's coming with the carpet spoon.
That's
Oh,
a straight up
no.
PBR for the table.
Yeah.
I think it called